Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and so tomorrow we're going to begin the rerun of Sygna Suit Kris and Suicune for Pokemon Masters Day, of course 25th of every single month, you know, usual Pokemon Master Fair rerun, and of course that day is soon. So, should you pull for this character on the rerun? Well, more so, is she good? Yes, she's still good, for sure. She's still a good water support, rain support character, applying special moves, next buffs to the team, special attack and crit buffs as well, mini potions for healing, a lot of uses of Rain Dance via Sync Burst and NPR, catalyzing Infliction, staggering 2, Team Stoic 4, Team Sync Think 9, Team Swift Reaction. She's got a lot of different buffs and a lot of different methods of enhancement, sustainability, whatever, which is great, right? Still a good character. But is she worth going for over the 4 other characters that are going to be up at the same time that also have 1% rates? I'm going to say probably not. Arceus Steven is just a better supportive character than her. Lance and Cynthia are stupidly strong in their own regards. That just kind of, you know, blows past her in terms of what she's able to provide for her, you know, teams and whatnot. And obviously Sygna Suit Lear, with his supportive abilities as a damage dealer, almost kind of makes up for the he can supply damage on a team and also apply levels of enhancement that could honestly be equivalent to that of a supportive character with like weather or special moves next buffs or whatever it may be. So those characters on their own right are crazy, but that doesn't really take away too, well, okay, it can't take away, but it doesn't mean that Kris is not in her own right still pretty strong, and especially with her new upgrade of getting the Sprint EX roll, definitely not bad. Still wanted Field would have been, in my opinion, better. But we take Sprint too. Sprint's, of course, better than Tech or Strike. So at the end of the day, she got, you know, second best option, or, you know, third worst, depending on how you want to look at it, right? And half glass half full, half empty type of situations, I guess. Anyway, so let's take a relook at her kit here. So with 6-star EX investment at level 140, she's got 808 health, 288 defense, 313 special defense, 334 speed. Not bad stats all around. Could be worse, definitely. With the Sprint EX roll investment, of course, she gets plus 60 in the HP, 868, 374 speed, and then the offenses go up a little bit to where actually with level 150, she's at nearly 300 special attack, which not going to be great for a lot of modes, but I mean, more towards the end of like Annabelle's ultimate battle, she might be doing some chip damage, right? Like 2%, 3% type of like, you know, amounts of HP per turn, which is not bad when she's not a damage dealing character, you know, maybe up to like 5%, you know, depending on how many sync buffs you get. And then, of course, for like Champion Stadium, Legendary Arena battles, whether that be solos or duos, the fact that she's got actual damage potential, or like okay, decent damage potential, is definitely not bad, right? For sure, that's definitely not bad. So overall, when it comes to what Kris can do with her stats, not a bad character, for sure, definitely not a bad character. But when it comes to, of course, you know, stats don't mean everything. The kit is a big part of it, and I think her kit's good, frankly. She's got Brine, which is mostly just uses a 2-gauge spammable move, but again, this can be a decent, not great at all damaging option for lower tier content for damage. Like, again, like Legendary Gauntlet, where that can be helpful, or again, very tail end of like an ultimate battle when you have a ton of sync buffs and enemies are defenses are debuff, you know, whatever else, right? Plus, does double damage when HP is after half HP or lower, so 80 some base power. Anyway, mini potion all, of course, healing, nice, definitely can be good, especially combined with NPR and Master Healer in the grid. Rain Dance, setting rain, obviously very, very nice ability. Spring of Knowledge, raising special attack of all allies by 2, raises crit of all allies by 1, and raises special moves next of all allies by 1 when in rain. So, of course, she's got good enhancement for ally special attack and crit if they are not self-sufficient, which a lot of modern characters are, which, again, if we're going to consider how good she is for higher tier content like Ultimate Battles, I'm not really going to consider the special attack or crit buffs, but the special moves next is very much appreciated on top of the rain and the healing. So, already looking pretty good. Good special enhancement, good water enhancement, and, of course, the healing for the whole team is good. In terms of passive skills, she's got Johto Flag Bear, of course, for damage reduction ability and powering up team moves as well. She's got Sync Burst 1, restoring MP to herself when her sync move is successful, giving her an extra usage of Rain Dance, Mini Potion, and her trainer move for maxing out special attack and crit. Plus 3 special moves next under Rain. 3 uses of Rain Dance itself, and 3 uses of the potions, all without having NPR, is very nice. She has also Team Mind Bracing Infliction 4, raising special defense of all allies by 4 the first time her status moves successful each battle. Obviously, that's solid, right? Giving the whole team special defense by up to +4, or by +4. is going to be good for some very immediate bulk for the whole team, and again, just helps out more with her special enhancement. And then First Aid 4 for restoring her HP by 40%, meaning those potions, of course, while many potions are good for team healing, not good for like direct healing, and so she has this little safety net of healing with First Aid 4. Of course, obviously none of these abilities are absurdly strong. Again, this is a character that is 2 years and like 3 months old, so about like 900 days, like 800 days old or so. That's for how old she is. I mean, that's still really solid, right? Like these are still good abilities, and you can still get a lot of usage out of her, especially with how strong water has become as a type, right? Like she works very, very well with Dahlia, right? Dahlia is able to set rain. It can help out with Kris. She can extend rain as well, giving more opportunity for Kris to do something other than setting rain and giving special moves next to the team under, Kris's trainer move, right? That's good. Works well with Sygna Suit Lysander, another strong damage dealer. Same thing with Yucine, who's also a Johto character, so more Johto buffs. Champion Serena, again, another water character that just works very well under Kris. Dojo Gloria, despite not being a special attacker, of course benefits from the rain and the support slot being taken up to give, that rain and whatnot. So her other partner, whatever other character you bring is, going to be able to potentially enhance her more or just provide more damage to the team. Archie benefited a lot back in release. Summer Gloria, any water type character is going to benefit a lot from the existence of Kris. Now, they could also benefit from the existence of those of like Sygna Suit Mina or Champion Caleb. Champion Caleb is a lot more frail. Kris is far better for sustainability than Caleb, though Caleb's buffs, and also her buffs for like special damage are far more immediate and consistent than like using Caleb's trainer move or whatever. But Caleb also, of course, has the aspect of being able to do dark buffing with Dark Zone and physical buffing and all that stuff as well. But again, for sustainability, and at least especially considering just the water type part, Kris is better. For sure in that regard. And then Sygna Suit Mina is definitely a more sustainability-based support. Kris is more enhancement with the special tech buffs and the special moves next buffs and all of that. But Mina, if we want to look at her kit, I just want to pop it up real quick. Support. If we want to go ahead and take a look at Sygna Suit Mina here, she's got Rain Dance, but she's also, again, more defensive. She's got the ability to raise ally defenses whenever a terrain, weather, terrain, or zone effect is activated with the defensive buffs here. She reduces ally special move damage when taken under Fairy Zone. She's able to use her Buddy move here, which applies damage guard to all allies, restore ally HP, and return ally lowered stats to normal. She's also got critical hit defense and gradual healing for the whole team, and other things like Sync Wall for more critical hit defense, and a few other things as well that just make her the ability to be team sustainable just a little bit better. And of course, Drainicus for her own very self-sufficient and strong healing. All of that is nice. And could it be better than Kris? For sure, but it really just depends what you want. Do you want more offensive enhancement, again, via these like special moves next buffs, or do you want more like sustainability, I guess, via Mina? Right, so it really just depends how you want to run these characters and which characters you're looking for. So this definitely makes Kris still a good range support for sure. She's still got good enhancement, she's still got good sustainability stats, and she's still got the potions for healing, all of that stuff. She can sustain and she can provide offensive enhancement. That is nice for sure, especially again 2 years old. Anyway, how is she at 1 out of 5 doing that? I'd say she's fine. I still do think that she wants dupes investment, mostly for things like Master Healer Potion MPR, Master Healer on Mini Potion All, and then the same NPR for that move. Rain Dance NPR can be nice, because while 3 uses of Rain is nice, it's not extended unless you're running her again under Dahlia or like Archie or someone like that. And other than that, right, like you still need probably more uses of Rain, at least in longer battles. In shorter battles, it's fine. Like Champion Stadium should be fine. Legendary Arenas, if you're going to be using like 3 characters versus the one opponent, whatever. If you're not trying to budget too much, you're probably going to be fine to use just have 3 instances of Rain Dance. It's going to be fine, right? But again, for longer battles, those extra uses of Rain are going to help. Of course, the speed buffs are nice with Team Swift Reaction, as well as catalyzing Infliction, because do note she does not have any other method of gauge efficiency, so having those methods of, again, helping out gauge is very helpful. She's also got more special moves next with Team Limited Special Boost, Team Sync Think, and some other boosts such as Team Stoic 4 for defensive buffs and Barricade Buddies. So I do think dupes provide a good bit of enhancement for her, but of course, again, if you're mostly trying to be like Champion Stadium or some lower tier content, her at 1 out of 5 is fine. She'll be providing a good buff to, water type characters, and of course, any special attacker will be able to benefit pretty well under her, as long as her rain does not directly conflict with what that character needs. Like if it's a fire type, probably just don't use Kris, just use a sun support like Sygna Suit Morty or maybe Sygna Suit or whoever, right? Like those are definitely going to be better options for that role, for example. Anyway, I guess we'll take a better look at what she actually can do with different levels of investment. 1 out of 5 again, Flameproof, Unflappable, Brine Gauge Refresh. Not really that great, but I mean, they are decent enough tiles, I guess. 2 out of 5, she gets Endurance, Training Move, NPR, Natural Remedy, Staggering 2s, Team Swift Reaction, 4 Refreshing Rain, Racing Rain, Potion, Master Healer, and Potion Lockstep 9. And a Special Defense plus 20 tile, I guess, too, but meh. Team Swift Reaction, again, this gives you team speed buffs, right? Like, that's going to help with Gauge. The only downside, of course, is that it's slow. It's a 50% chance, and you have to be hit. So that is not the fastest method of buffing Gauge or applying Gauge buffs. So in shorter battles, it's not really going to be too noticeable, and in longer battles, it will take a while, right? So it's not a bad method of buffing Gauge, but again, just do consider it will take a while for this to rack up. Staggering 2, 30% chance of making the enemy flinch. A flinch chance is always nice. It does provide RNG, right? 30% flinch chance is not great, but a good, like, well properly timed flinch can save any run for the most part. Like, a lot of runs in certain content can be saved by well timed flinches, so having that opportunity to actually flinch the enemy is still helpful, even if at a 30% rate. Racing Rain and Refreshing Rain, just a little bit more Gauge efficiency, which this does help there, combined with the Team Swift Reaction. Refreshing Rain for some healing, again, this just combines with her mini potions and her First Aid 4 for her own little bit of sustainability and healing. That is nice, but I do want to consider this only works when the Pokemon takes an action, so if you're using potions or trainer moves, this will not proc, only under Rain Dance and Brine. Right. Anyway, Trainer Move NPR, this is a good node. This is a very solid node for sure. 30% chance to give Trainer Move NPR, which is just more special moves next buffs to the team, right? Even if your special attack and crit is maxed out, you benefit a lot from the extra special moves next enhancement, unless again you are running her with a character like Dojo Gloria, who does not really utilize the special moves next buffs, but for the most part, those characters you're going to run with Kris are going to be special attackers for the most part. So having this is very, very nice. More uses of this is good. Endurance. Again, just helps out with her bulk a little bit, gives you that safety net of being able to survive a KOing attack, can be crucial for some fights. Obviously, characters like Arsu Steven with his endurance and then endure again, right? It's very helpful to have those again in a situation where you can also heal up via things like First Aid 4 or many potions or whatever else, and you can get your health back before the enemy tries to, KO you the next time. Again, Potion Master Healer, more healing. This increases healing. I forget how much this actually increases healing by. Is this like 30% healing now? Because I know this is 20%. This is either 30% or 40%. I think it's 30%. Either way, good healing, right? More healing, very, very nice. Doesn't need much explanation. Extra healing on top of what you've already got. That's good. Mini Potion, all Lockstep 9. Charging Gauge for each ally character on the field of play. I mean, that's more Gauge. She needs the Gauge, so the Mini Potion Lockstep is nice if you do need like a kind of Gauge bot type of situation. But of course, you're going to mostly want to use potions for healing, not really for like Gauge purposes. So it is nice to have for sure. It's a nice quality of life thing, but again, mostly use those potions when you need healing, not when you need Gauge. Still though, it's nice to have. So overall, pretty stacked 2 out of 5, right? Like if this is enough Gauge efficiency for you, or if the staggering is good enough, or the train move NPR for more special moves next buffs is enough, then 2 out of 5 does suffice. Honestly, it's definitely one of the better 2 out of 5 grids in the game for sure, especially if a relatively recent character, post second anniversary character. It's nice to have, definitely. But of course, extra investment 3 out of 5 does help a lot too. Team Sync 9 for Team Sync Think 9 for special moves next buffs on using the Sync move. Doesn't need much explanation. That +1 is pretty helpful, or at least it can be. Team Stoic 4 on Brine. This gives teams defense buffs. Yes, team defensive buffs is very, very helpful. This makes her bulk not only good on the special side, but of course good on the physical side as well. So you don't have to worry about that as much. But again, the downside of this is that you're using Brine, right? You're not using potions for healing, Rain Dance for setting rain, or the trainer move for special moves next buffs. You're using Brine, which is only useful for a 50% chance of buffing defenses, and of course staggering 2 if you do opt to pick that up. So again, these buffs are going to be kind of slow, similar to that Team Swift reaction, and of course you may not have many opportunities because you may not be using Brine. You may be using one of the other 3 important moves that Kris has, right? So that is probably the biggest downside of Team Stoic 4. But again, in longer battles it's going to be fine because she's going to have plenty of opportunities to use Brine there anyway. She's also got Team Barricade Buddies 1, raising special defense of all allies when the trainer move is successful. This gives her the ability to max out special defense, because of course +4 is not max, so giving the +1 every time she uses the trainer move can be helpful if you want to give her the whole team +6 special defense, and again just helps with the bulk a little bit more. Team Limited Special Boost 2, a 30% chance to increase special moves next of all allies by 1 when the user uses a move with a limited number of uses. So mini potion, it says user, right? Yeah, okay. Mini potion, rain dance, and her trainer move. This gives you, every time you use these, you have a 30% chance to give the team special moves next. And again, if you do combine that with using the trainer move, that is +2 special moves next. So this is a very, very good tile to pick up if you are trying to enhance team damage as much as possible. And again, combined with things like trainer move NPR and having Sync Burst, you will have many opportunities to be able to proc this passive. Definitely one of the good things. Of course, it is only 30% chance, but with how many moves she has that are of limited usages, this is still very, very helpful. She's also got Trainer Move Master Healer, Mini Potion Master Healer again, and then Mini Potion NPR 3. 40% chance for restoring MP, and then another Master Healer node, bringing her healing up to, I believe, 40% for the whole team with Mini Potions. That's very good healing for the whole team, and that is obviously having a 40% chance to restore that MP, combined with having Sync Burst for like a safety net. Very, very strong stuff. This is obviously really, really good. This makes the team healing very, very nice, combined with her defensive utility of buffing special defense and the, slow defensive buff she can provide is also, again, very helpful. And then finally, Rain Dance NPR and Rain Dance Catalyzing Infliction. Catalyzing Infliction is a good immediate source of gauge management, better than Team Swift Reaction, better than like Racing Rain, better than Lockstep on mini potions, all that stuff, right? Like, this is your fastest source of actual gauge management, and it's by using Rain Dance. Combine that with NPR, and not only are you having multiple instances of being able to set rain, but you also have the ability to apply gauge acceleration, and you don't have to worry about the team gauge. Again, this does help out team gauge a lot better than like Swift Reaction, which is not a bad passive to pick up either. If you want to work these, in conjunction, you can do that as well, applying even better gauge. But for the most part, if you need immediate gauge, Catalyzing Infliction is great. And again, NPR is also great on Rain Dance for longer battles where you need that extended amounts of rain, and whatever else. Again, ultimate battles are long fights. Legendary arenas can be long if you're, budgeting teams. So trying to get as much rain as possible to use with this character for, team damage if you're running her with a water character. And of course, special moves next off her trainer move is going to be helpful pretty much always. And again, setting gauge acceleration if you do opt to pick up Catalyzing Infliction. So yeah. Still a lot of good stuff. Kris's grid is pretty stacked in everything you can pick up. Frankly, one of those characters that would just love to pick up everything. Like, all of these nodes would just be really solid for her to pick up. Endurance, let's just add endurance to that. All of these tiles are very solid in their own right and can provide a lot to Kris, but minus 70 energy, and that doesn't even consider the cost to actually get to those tiles, right? So, yeah. Overall, though, I mean, she can definitely try and specify in one role, right? Like, if you want to buff, special attack damage, picking up Trainer Move NPR and Team Limited Special Boost is nice. Probably pick up Rain Dance for the extra usages of special moves next, and of course, buffing rain characters, water characters more. That's good. Probably pick up Catalyzing Infliction because you're going to need some source of gauge management. That is nice to pick up as well. This is probably a base type of grid I would run. I would probably give her +2 energy. I think my Kris is actually +2 or +4 energy. I don't quite remember. And I would give her Mini Potion All or NPR for team healing. That, or at the very least, I would give her Master Healer or something. So, whatever it may be. I would, if you're wanting to enhance damage, I'd probably go for this. Use the extra 10 energy how you want. I just opted to pick up mini potions. You could pick up Endurance maybe, whatever you want, especially if it's a shorter battle. So, that is nice. If you want better sustainability, of course, being able to pick up Mini Potion, Master Healer, and NPR is very nice. That 40% healing for Mini Potions can be very helpful. Again, Gauge Acceleration can be very, very helpful as well, so picking that up can be pretty nice, giving you 4 extra energy left to work with. Maybe you want to pick up Refreshing Rain with minus +4 energy or something, or maybe just invest it into stats, however you like. Go for it, whatever you want to do. Plenty of ways to run this character. It really just is up to whatever that situation is calling for in the moment. Like, again, Annabelle may call for something different than a Champion Stadium battle, right? Like, those, they can be different. Granted, Champion Stadium battle is not that hard, so probably could just utilize the same grid, but if you want to be more effective or something, then, changing up grids could be helpful. But again, point being, she's going to be variable depending on the situation, pretty much like every other character in the game. As for how she benefits from the X roll, it's just pretty much the same way a lot of characters benefit. The -3 sync countdown can be helpful. I don't think Water has too many characters that, work off of sync acceleration very well, but, I mean, well, okay, every character benefits off of sync acceleration pretty well, but, they don't really have too many characters that, stack sync countdown too much, so Kris is mostly going to be the only one doing it, but still that -3, skipping a whole turn, is going to be helpful for that first sync. Can also be helpful for maybe like maintaining rain a little bit better, where you don't have to wait as long to get to your next sync move. You can set up rain like maybe immediately after Kris's first sync move, where you're getting that -3 sync countdown, buff special moves next with the trainer move or whatever afterwards, and you don't have to worry too much about timing of setting rain. It could be helpful. And maybe also similar case of running her with Archie, where you get that sync acceleration and it makes it so you don't have to set rain as often, and you don't have to make too much abuse of, well, you already make a big abuse of Archie's flood alert, right? Like, you can not have to worry too much about having to reset rain as often by having that sync acceleration, getting your to your sync moves more often, and not having to set rain as often, at least in the case of like having a character that's got extension. But either way, I mean, it's a good roll, right? It's going to be giving you that sync countdown that is nice. I personally would have preferred Field for not only the stats, but also the extended rain. That would have been nice. The extended rain would have been very, very helpful for, again, not having to really worry about that. Being able to, because in my opinion, one of Kris's biggest issues is having to do too many things, right? Like, she may want to heal, she may want to buff special moves next, she may want to set rain. Oftentimes, she is wanting to set rain, which, of course, you know, partners like Dahlia, who can extend rain, or extend rain duration, you know, help mitigate that problem, but still, being able to have Kris do it herself helps with her self-sufficiency, and of course, just helps in general, making it so she may be able to extend it along, have Dahlia extend her extended rain. That could have been really good, and again, it just helps utilize more potion usage, trainer move usage, or brine usage if you're, again, trying to go for things like, you know, Team Stoic 4 or whatever. Just point being that I think Field would have been helpful. But again, Sprint's not a bad EX roll. This sync countdown is nice, and yeah, I don't really have too much else to say, honestly. Kris, I still think, is a good support, pretty much especially for regarding her age. I don't think she's like nearly as top tier as she used to be, but she's still very good for water type characters. Like, you're going to be running her or Sygna Suit Mina as not water type because Mina's fairy, but as a supportive character for a lot of water teams, and she's going to be applying some important stuff to the team with the enhancement, with the sustainability, whatever else it may be. Kris is going to be good for it. That's all else really I got to say. So yeah, let me know what you think about Sygna Suit Kris in the comments below. Let me know what you think about her getting the Sprint EX roll and everything else. And yeah, again, I'll see you all later. I hope you all enjoyed.